Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today.
Hi guys, I am here in the Mojave Desert, Fallout New Vegas, sorting out my mod list actually. I'm trying to figure out which mods I'm going to need for my next playthrough. It's been about a year and a half since I played this game. The 11th of the 11th of the 11th, Skyrim came out, and I've not actually played Fallout New Vegas since then. So obviously there's a lot of new mods, and probably some of them are considered essential, and I don't even know about them anymore, which is terrible. So I've got to go through all of my mods, and this time I was going to be using an ENB mod. And I've been trying different ENBs. My system's more powerful, although, to be honest with you, I don't think it matters. Because Fallout New Vegas is almost as bad as Fallout 3 for the way it uses the machine. It barely... My graphics card's half asleep at the moment. It's like 35% load. And that's with an ENB. I don't know which texture packs I'm using, though. That might be it. My CPU's doing nothing on 2 cores. 2 of the cores are doing absolutely nothing. One of the cores is at about 80% and the other one's at about 30%. It's amazing that this game just simply doesn't push my system at all. And yes, I am capped at 60 frames a second because I'm using VSync, but I can go to areas like the Strip, the Vegas Strip, where my frame rate drops to 43 frames a second. And my graphics card and my CPU are still being used at about what I just said. It just doesn't go up. It just doesn't change. It's as if the game says, I'm not going to use any more resources than this. And so, you know, there you go. So upgrading my system would be pointless. It won't give me any more frames a second. So I can use ENB without any worries whatsoever. It doesn't affect my performance in the slightest in any of the areas that count. Any of the areas where I normally get like close to 60 frames a second, I use ENB, doesn't go down 1 frame a second, which is pretty amazing. So I'm trying an ENB, but this is Tapiox's Enhanced Shaders, the latest version, and it's pretty good, although I'm a little freaked out by the sun glare. I think it's always this way with ENBs, isn't it? Some areas look great, some are not so great. I guess it's like, don't look at the sun. I do like the very hot feeling, and I love the colours actually. But anyway, I'm just trying different ENB mods. I've turned off the depth of field. I really am not a big fan of the depth of field in ENB mods because it's too strong. I'm probably going to use Dynavision. In fact, I am going to use Dynavision on the lowest blur. So I've got it on the low blur now. And, you know, as you can see, there's a tiny bit of a blur, and it's not that strong. And more importantly, as I move around, it doesn't blur things that much until I get close and you start to notice it. So it's a little bit more subtle. And that, for me, is going to be pretty essential. I love the cinematic camera feel to the very strong depth of field, but I do find it too distracting to play. So this is probably what I'm looking for. An ENB makes the game look nice, has, you know, cool sunlight and God rays effects and that type of thing. But the problem I'm having, and it's with every single ENB, is aliasing. Look at the pylons and the wires. Can you see how they shimmer? It's more noticeable if I just run forward and run towards them. Can you see the shimmer? Like a mirage effect almost. Oh, that got better there. Right, there you see it again? And watch if I stop. Can you see the wire is just made up of lots of different sections, some thin bits and some thick bits? That's aliasing. That is aliasing, and it's what gives everything that shimmer. Look at the see if I need my... I don't have any hotkeys. There you go. Look at that over there. Now, watch as I move. Can you see the bottom area, how it shimmers? That is aliasing. And it happens across the entire game. on lots of different objects. Even, I mean, look at the distant terrain. Look at that tower, the satellite tower in the distance. Look how it shimmers. And for me, that is absolutely unacceptable. Now, I've been playing around with the settings, and I'm looking here. I've got to get used to the new cursor here. And you've got, one of the options is to enable ENB's own anti-aliasing. There you go, anti-aliasing enable edge AA. It's enabled. It doesn't seem to matter if I... See, actually, it is worse when I turn it off. I mean, look at that. That's bad. Although, can I just say something? The game looks a lot sharper. Mind you, that does happen. When you use post-processing AAs, that does happen. But it does actually look a lot clearer, you know. Frame rate's suffering a little bit, probably because I'm leaving the this open. So, but I've enabled it. I've enabled it. But as you saw, even with it enabled and the slight blurring and everything, I've still got fairly horrific anti-aliasing. And for me, that is, I don't know, pretty unacceptable. And to give you an idea of the comparison, this is the game without ENB installed and the game's own anti-aliasing. And as you can see, the shimmer has gone, more or less. It's 8 times anti-aliasing. I believe it's using multi-sampling. But as you can see, the shimmer has more or less gone. I don't think I can see. It's on occasional objects at extreme distance, but not much. No, not at all. And for me, even though the sunlight doesn't look quite... The sun doesn't look that bad, actually. The light in general doesn't look as good. The shimmering, I found monumentally distracting. Really, really annoying. Now, I have tried using NVIDIA Inspector to force, say, super sampling on, but I don't really see any difference no matter which option I pick. And I do see a performance drop, which is obviously kind of annoying. I think I got my settings right. I'm using the anti-aliasing compatibility with this flag, even though it actually comes, the default is this. From all I can find, the actual suggested one is that. And I have the behavior to none, the mode to override, and then I select super sampling, which is what all the websites seem to be suggesting, and I'm just not seeing it. I've tried an injected SMAA, and that seems to have absolutely no difference whatsoever. I can get it working without the ENB. It works fine without the ENB, but then I can use normal anti-aliasing then. So yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss. Now, I could actually roll back to an old ENB, because the old ENBs allowed you to use the anti-aliasing that came with the game. However, they didn't come with these phenomenal light effects. I don't think they did anyway, like the God rays now. I love the way the light works with this flag. And the character. You get the sort of the God ray effect. I think it's incredible. It really does add to that feeling of being there. I just think it makes it look really realistic, even though the sun itself is a little bit bright. I love the way the light works. So I really want one of the new ENBs, but I really do want anti-aliasing. So if any of you have got any ideas, if you've managed to get an ENB working with this light effect, the new ENBs, and you've got a way of getting anti-aliasing so that I don't get that horrible shimmer, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, well, anyway, thank you for listening, and if you do have any advice, thank you for that in advance. Oh, and if you're wondering when the Let's Play is going to start, it's probably going to be a couple of weeks. The next 2 weeks are going to be ridiculously busy for me. This just the way my work schedule is. I am not going to get long periods of time when I can play. I'm not going to be getting like 2 hours so I can do a Let's Play episode. And that's what you need. Let's Plays require time where you don't get interrupted. I will still be making videos, but they'll be the sort of videos I can make in shifts. I can do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, I'm afraid. So there'll be a short break from the Let's Play, I think. I think it's very unlikely that I will get that kind of free time just for about the next 2 weeks, so bear with me. You guys probably could do with a break anyway. Okay?
There'll be no wedding bells for today.